EB1, first preference, employment-based category. In this video, I am going to be talking about EB1, the requirements, the qualifications, the type of people, the group of individuals that may be qualified to actually obtain a EB1 type of visa under employment-based category. My name is Bijoux Ngwanda, as you already know. I'm an immigration lawyer here based in DC. I do work with individuals across the country and around the world because we're dealing with complex US immigration cases. If you're new to my channel, you can please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. If you enjoy the content, you can go ahead and share, like, don't forget to comment below. Also, just look in the description box and check all those links so that you can follow us on all social media platforms where we upload sometimes short videos, sometimes just testimonies, sometimes just reviews, sometimes just we're live and answering questions. Okay, if you follow us, that'll be really I'm really going to appreciate that. Let's get right into the subject. Employment based. The question is, can I self-sponsor? Yes, you can self-sponsor. No labor certification is required. However, for those other two individual employment job offer is required, but no labor certification, which is really good because remember that with labor certification, you have to go to the Department of Labor and show prevailing wages, show that there's not enough workers in the U.S. That's why you want to hire a foreign. The complexity of it, the time line, and it just takes really a lot. But if they waive the labor certification, then you're really fine, right? The first group of people, extraordinary ability, people with extraordinary ability in science, art, education, business, or athletic through sustained national or international acclaim. Then we have the second category, outstanding professor and researchers. Okay. Then we have the third category, certain national manager or executive. For extraordinary ability people, you only need to meet 3 out of 10 criteria listed on USCIS.gov website. For outstanding professor and researchers, you only need to meet 2 criteria and then provide a job offer, right? For certain multinational manager or executive, you have what you have to show is your petitioning employer must be a U.S. employer and intend to employ you in an executive or managerial position. The petitioner must have been doing business in the U.S. for at least 1 year as a legal entity with qualifying relationship to the entity that employ you abroad and managerial or executive capacity. The thing I want to emphasize here is about labor certification requirement that is waived, which make it easier for the employer to petition for you, okay, into that managerial position. And then outstanding professors and researchers, the same thing too, make it easier for the employer to petition for you because the labor certification requirement is waived. And for extraordinary ability, not just that the labor certification requirement is waived, also you do not need a job offer. Okay, so basically you really are petitioning on your own. A lot of requirements are there on the US.gov, but I just want to go over those criteria, okay, and see really they have some example of evidence that an outstanding professor can show. For example, when it comes to outstanding professor, you have to be able to show evidence of receipt of a major prizes or award for outstanding achievement. Evidence of membership in association that require that their member demonstrate outstanding achievement. Evidence of published material. If you're a professor, really you have to show publication. That's so important. Evidence of original scientific or scholar research contribution in the field. Evidence of authorship, if you wrote a book and stuff like that. For professors, it's much easier and researchers, because that's their job, right? They've published books, they've researched, they've been cited in documents or in other stuff. For certain multinational manager or executive, you must have been employed outside of the United States for at least 1 year in the 3 years preceding the petition of the most recent lawful non-immigrant admission. Okay? But for extraordinary ability, you go under those 10 criteria and really show what you have. At least 3. But the most important thing, I'm going to leave the link in the description box. The most important thing with extraordinary ability is that if you have an international award, for example, like a Oscar, Olympic medal, okay, a Nobel Prize, you don't need other criteria. That's it. That settles it. If you have like something like let's say somebody who's an athlete from outside of this country, of course, and then they have like they won in the Olympics and they have a Olympic medal, they can show just that, and that shows that they're a person of extraordinary ability. If some prizes are internationally recognized, that's it. You don't need to show 3 criteria. And that's how it's basically a selection of some type of individual that really are above average. Okay? And we know we have a lot of people who have achieved a lot, but they just don't know, especially in countries like African countries, they don't know how to show it, that they have achieved a lot. And we can help them. If you can just email me, we can try to see your achievement and help you out. But just know that consultation fees apply as usual. Email bijoux.ngwandaesq@gmail.com. All the links are in the description box, okay? So I wanted really to touch base on EB1 because we don't really talk a lot about it. I believe we have talked about it before. I just wanted to just provide you with additional information so you see if you qualify. So now I'm going to answer one question about this. Let's say you happen to be in the US and you feel like you qualify for EB1 self-sponsor with no labor certification requirement and with no employer requirement, especially for extraordinary ability. What can you do if you are unlawfully present? Well, depending, if you have a parent who's a lawful permanent resident, you can get a pretty much a waiver, I-601A, unlawful presence waiver, and get out, right? And go through consular processing after this is approved here, after your I-140 is approved here and your I-601 is approved, okay? If you have an asylum pending, you can get this one approved and get advance parole and do consular processing. But you really have to calculate the risk of when you get advance parole. Remember, it's a risky thing to take, to go out without any type of guarantee that you come back. But if you calculate those risks well enough, you might be to get your EB1 from outside, because people are so concerned that asylum is taking forever, and the ability to actually win the asylum case is really like slim, right? And we're talking about people with asylum pending with USCIS. I'm not suggesting anybody in court to just leave and go, even with advanced parole. I'm not suggesting that. If your case is only pending with USCIS with advanced parole, and this one, I-140 EB1 is approved, then you can take those type of risks, okay? Yeah, that's it. So this is it. It's really a more complicated subject, but it really works with students, especially STEAM student with STEAM degrees, science, STEAM, like it's science, engineering, and stuff like that. They can be more qualified because they're achieving a lot, especially if you have achieved a lot. They can qualify. If they don't qualify for EB2, national interest waiver, they can qualify for EB1. So, and especially this time around that the climate is more favorable for employment-based category with all those green cards available, EB1 is something that a STEAM student can actually apply for, because provided that they have at least 3 criteria. If you've been part of the dean list, if you've been getting award at your school, like prizes for winning achievement at your school, current school, you know, if you've been part of a club that allows you to judge the work of others, if you can command higher salary in comparison to similarly situated people. I mean, a lot of people, students, especially students with STEAM degrees, if you have some type of achievement, because students always look for solutions, right? After they finish school, if they don't get an employer, what are you going to do if you don't have any job offer, but you have achieved so much? Can you consider EB1? You know, let us check your case and see if you can be considered for EB1, especially if you're a student within a lawful status. It's pretty much easier for you to adjust status. So this video really, it's a calling to students. We are really calling students. EB1, EB1A extraordinary ability students team. Yeah, please call me and let's see how we can do. Yeah, so this is it for today. Until next time, bye bye.